like, uh-oh.
we, um, but I forgot where I was going with that. But nevertheless, I know we're talking about dealing with staff and how to get them on that next level.
Hmm.
And I know for me, I was talking about the raw approach as how, sometimes you just can't sugarcoat stuff. Um, and that's true. But at the same time, it's two things that you gotta do when you're dealing with people is you gotta treat everybody alike and at the same time treat everybody different. I think that's something hard that a lot of people don't know how to
Yep.
do. When I say differently, is you identify their strengths and areas of opportunity because you might have somebody that has maybe strong at 95% of their area. You might have somebody that only strong at 30%. So you can't treat that 95 and that 30% the same. You
Hmm.
know, you gotta when you're developing succession programs, so things are a little bit different. And also with the raw approach, I find that no matter what we do as leaders, the raw stands for three different things. The R stands for respect. All employees want to feel like they are being respected, and they should be respected. I mean, they come to work every day. That's the minimum you can ask people to do. Then the second is the A is appreciation. Appreciate them for showing up. Appreciate them for wanting to learn. Appreciate them wanting to be able to prepare themselves for a succession plan. That's a scary situation for a lot of people when you get somebody to come in and say, "Hey, what do your succession plan look like?" Because a lot of times they feel like you're trying to get rid of them. And really, all you're trying to do is really just get them the skills and the tools that they need to go to that next level. And then the W is I use that for worthy. Um, Everybody want to feel worthy of the organization. Everybody want to feel like what they are bringing to the organization provides them with the opportunity to feel worthy that they are doing something if they can make a change in that environment, in that organization, in that industry, most importantly. And so that's where the raw approach comes from. Just respect people, appreciate them, let them feel worthy. And I think with those three concepts that, we can take people on this journey to prepare them for next level and whatever that level may look like. So,
You, I'm glad to hear that because I think as leaders, oftentimes people diminish what some people may call simple as respect and appreciation. Um,
mhm.
because this day and age, depending on the generations that are within your organization, whether it's Gen Z, Gen X, still baby boomers, um, many people think they come to the work saying, I want to be paid more. Now, if you had told me that 5, 7 years ago, as I did exit interviews for staff, many of them talking about, oh, I want more pay. As you mentioned, COVID really shifted things, changed things in the big way because we were used to doing client facing work. Client facing work meaning directly working with families to where now everyone is at home and it's a hybrid model. And so people now they shaped and built their lives around, okay, I'm at home, I can work, I can wash the dishes, I can do my laundry, I can run errands. But now as we open back up, um, people were like, wait a minute, I value this more open kind of operation, whether it's hybrid, sometimes at home, sometimes at work, not all the time being at work, because now my life has shifted and changed. And so they were talking about, I just really want you to respect where I am now. Now, what some leaders and organizations did, and they still are doing, is like, well, we can pay you more. And I hear workers now saying it's not even about the pay anymore. Actually, workers are leaving, even if the pay is great, to then go to another organization where they're being paid less, but they're offering more flexibility.
The importance of that, and this is what I tell people, and I got to, somebody wanted to argue with me about this, and I tell them that people have identified money is fourth or fifth on their line of why they leave organizations. And being that COVID has opened something up to them, it's all about work-life
Absolutely.
balance. That's the number one important thing to a lot of people is that, hey, I can actually work from home, still go do what I got to do, still got to, whatever I got to do, I can still make it happen. And I was just explaining to one of my team members the other day, as well as the director, is that what I like about the flexibility is that I'm an early riser. So it's nothing for me to be on at 5:30, 6 o'clock, and being that I have hospitals from California to New York. So, I mean, it's always going. So then you can take that time. You might work to 10, 11 o'clock. Then I like to go to the gym in the middle of the day. I like to do other things in the middle of the day. And then this is nothing for me to come home 3, 4 o'clock and work at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Not only that, I feel like I'm more productive, and the production shows on that side to the point they be like, okay, I understand it. So more people want that work-life balance because they feel more productive. And I have seen people when they have brought them back to the office, they be like, okay, I get it. And then you look at the drive and the traffic and everything, and then you be like, you know what? It's really not worth it.
It's not worth it. Absolutely. And the interesting thing, like when I ran my agency, first of all, I came from the old school. Like I was used to being in the office every single day. I could go to someone's office if I needed to reach them. And then, of course, now we have Zoom, you have Microsoft Teams, and you have different platforms where you can virtually meet. During the time of COVID, what we saw was not only could we get the work done in a different way, but as you just mentioned, workers were actually more productive. And we began to see, oh, wow, they can do it. What suffered, and this is kind of the dynamic, what suffered were cities in terms of small businesses where workers would usually be, wherever their place of operations were, they'd go to lunch where they're spending money. So that's when government decided, okay, we're going to bring everybody back. And when they also brought everybody back, they also began to see a mass exodus of people leaving. And then you had your big Fortune 500 companies, Disney and others. Now, bring them all back in the office because now you have these empty, large buildings. And now you're beginning to have the local economies begin to suffer. When the local economies suffer, the taxes and revenue that the city would collect are the very ones that would pay for the goods and services you're providing. So it all has a cause and effect. And where I get it, you're absolutely caught in this middle because you're like, okay, I can see that staff now value this flexibility, but I'm also seeing where it's affecting that when it's time for budget, the money's not there because we don't have butts and seats. So it's just, you're kind of in this conundrum. And I found that to be a very interesting dynamic. But again, staff were like, look, I'm going to take a pay cut for a job to where I can stay at home full time. And I've looked at now that I don't have to commute in, I don't have to buy gas, I don't have to worry about paying for parking, I don't have to worry about, paying these high, price tags for lunch, which it is in Washington, D.C. So yeah, it's just, they just began to see where they could cut corners and stay at home.
Yeah. And also what some organization has identified, it just depends on where you're working. You can actually take more vacations without using vacation time.
Yeah, that became that. I'm gonna tell you that became a problem as one that when I led an agency, when you began to see people accrue like PTO because they look, you're at home, you don't necessarily have to take off, but also if you think about telework policy, telework means that you can work from anywhere to get your job done. So you can leave on a Thursday and be in Mexico somewhere, still getting your job done, not having to take off work. But then it became this huge budgetary concern because people weren't taking off and people were accruing more time than usual. It was just like, again, cause and effect.
Right. Absolutely. Well, Brother Robert, leave us, I always like for people to leave us with one great idea or thought. What do you have for the folks?
One great idea or thought. Well, let me just say this before I think about that. You know, this is the day after a very hard election, and today I took a mental health day, which I never do. Um, I have a strong work ethic, but I also understand the limitations emotionally, that I could not show up today at work at full capacity.
Mm.
And I let my CEO know that this morning. I was like, I don't have it today. Maybe what I would want to leave people with is to be in tune with your own well-being. A lot of people depend on me, whether it's friends, whether it's family, whether it's colleagues. But you got to know when you have to say, I got to take care of self. Um, because if you don't take care of self, how are you going to be able to do the things that you need to do? So I took today for me, and I know I got a lot of text messages, I got a lot of calls I haven't returned,
That's
because
okay.
I need to take today for me,
Hmm.
and I'm okay doing that because I know, and this is not boastful because I know I show up for others, and today I need to show up for me.
And I think that's very important. On one of my shows, I talked about the importance of self-care. One, you have, there's comes a time when you have to say, I'm not answering the phone today.
Yeah,
I'm not answering this. I'm not doing on social media. And it's okay to isolate myself. And it's okay to say no.
yeah,
No, no is a complete
yeah,
sentence. And a lot of people don't understand the power of no and silence. It's good for your mental health because being that one where a lot of people go to, especially being in an organization leadership position. Like you say, you already got family, but now you got an organization that's riding on
right.
you and waiting for the next best thing that you about to put out there. And people don't understand the pressure, the stress, and the strain. But the thing is, we made for this.
Absolutely,
Even being made for it, you still got to do you.
absolutely.
And that means, well, brother Robert, I appreciate you. I'm sorry for about the little conflict that
Ah,
happened with the social media world. I thank you for coming on and sharing your wisdom, sharing your experience. And I'm sure people going to be tagging you. We're going to put all this on different social media. It was a wealth of
well,
information. Thank you.
thank you, and let me congratulate you on your launch of Raw. I think it's a great idea, um, and I'm looking forward to how it grows and how it can be used as a tool for other leaders. So, congratulations.
And that's exactly what's coming. Without putting too much out there, it's going to be an assessment tool that will be created, developed, and will be licensed. It's coming soon. Not sure how soon, but it's going through some technical difficulties and stuff like that. Right now, it's just another step from the dissertation. As I'm currently going through numerous. I'm going through a class at University of Phoenix now called dissertation to publication.
Hmm.
We're able to go through the steps and take our dissertation and prepare them for manuscript, which is a different mindset. But I'm glad that they're offering that, and it just gives them a different perspective and more way to give your dissertation and your research more notoriety.
Hmm.
And as well, one of my advisors had advised me to take. No, it wasn't advised. It was an editor. It was an editor that I was trying to present my dissertation to for a manuscript, and she said, "Hey, I want you to go and present this to academic conferences." So, talk about the emotional intelligence. I took that and I was mad. I'm like, how dare she tell me to go take this? And I mean, to me, it was like looking smack in the face. Like, it's not good enough for this.
Hmm.
But those did it in an academic conference, stuff like that. And then when I was talking to the team of doctors and they were like, oh, that wasn't a bad thing. They really gave you a compliment. What they said was you held something that an academic